guys, so today we're going to be talking about Haunt, and I believe this was requested for me to do, and it's on Netflix. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, so this movie is about a family who moves into this house where there were multiple suicides and of the same family, and then creepy shit happens. Basically, it's a haunted house type of storyline, which is one of my favorites. For some reason, haunted houses or haunted type movies really bother me. As far as like scare factor, they always really get to me. And just in general, I love the atmosphere of these types of movies. This one did not disappoint with the atmosphere. The cinematography and the scenery was beautiful. It was creepily breathtaking. I'm not sure where they filmed this or where this even was supposed to take place, but it was a beautiful scene. The house was amazing for this type of movie, so it seemed like the budget was pretty high, and also the acting was very decent. So it is kind of your typical haunted house type of storyline, but there's a few twists at the end which were pretty interesting, and the fact that the family who was haunting the house they're not really the bad guys. Like, they're scary, but they're really not there to do any harm to the new family. So I thought that was, you know, kind of cool. And they did a great job on making the main creepy woman who was trying to do harm, making her horrifying. I was scared. Like, I was honestly scared, and it reminded me a lot of Mama, like the same kind of vibes. So if you like something like Mama, you're definitely gonna like this. Although this is a lesser version, I would say. Mama's obviously much better because it's done by the master. And this one was a little bit worse because of the plot holes and things like that, but generally it had the same kind of vibes as Mama. So if you're into that, you'd probably like this one. I didn't necessarily like all the side plots with all the characters. I wasn't a fan of like the girl the main boy who's 18, and there was this weird plot with him, how he was like bound to the house, but they didn't talk about it ever. They could have just left that out. I guess it was a punishment for something, or I'm not sure why they even moved there, but he was supposed to be like, he couldn't leave the house, and they never talked about it, and they mentioned it once in the beginning, and that was it. He stumbles upon this girl crying, and that whole scene was very interesting because they would flash to her scenario and her in her house and getting hit by her dad who's drinking, and then it was flashed to him, so I wasn't really sure what was going on because you would have audio from her and then it'd be showing the main guy, and it was just weird how all that works, and I didn't really like that. They tried to make it mesh and it failed. And then with his older sister going off to college, like everything was just so convenient. Oh, it's so convenient that she happens to have a drunk dad who beats her, and so she sleeps with him at his house and they're there. And then it's so convenient that when all the shit goes down, his older sister his parents take his older sister and younger sister out of the town and to go look at colleges. So everything was just a little too convenient for me because it's not very realistic. And then the other thing that was too convenient was when they were having these issues with the ghosts, and oh my gosh, I can't talk. And his dad calls and is like, oh, well, there's an accident. We're gonna be stranded here for a little while. We'll let you know when we're coming back into town. And that's convenient that they're stranded outside of the house and can't get home. So it's things like that I just didn't like. But then I really like the twist at the end. There's two twists, and the first one, you kind of figure out 3/4 of the way in because they slowly start to reveal more of that story. Basically, there is, this isn't really spoiling anything, so you can still watch. Morellos are the family that lived in the house before the Ashers, and the mom, Morello, was the only one who survived. Basically, her children started killing themselves. Her older daughter hung herself in the closet. Her eldest son died in a car accident, and then her youngest daughter drowned in the pool. And so her husband was trying to communicate with them and using this box, which is just like you wind it up and it's supposed to talk to ghosts. I'm not even sure if those kind of things exist or if that box is like a real thing today. I'm not sure if people use it or if it was just made up for the movie. So then the dad's trying to communicate with them, and he, I guess, releases this woman ghost through, and his children, you can hear them talking through the box that they're warning him to turn it off. She's in there with him, and then he falls down the stairs. So then the mom's the only one left, and you are kind of wondering why, and then it starts to show why she's the only one left. Basically, she was a pediatrician and she would see people, obviously with their children and everything, and there's this moment where this woman is leaving and she looks up and makes eyes with her husband. But then I thought that was just gonna be the twist at the end, and I already figured it out. Then, because my mind was so wrapped up in that, I was completely blindsided when you find out the very last thing and the last twist at the end. I'm just gonna leave it up for you guys to watch it because I really think it would not ruin the movie, but it was a good point for me in the movie to when they showed the last twist. I thought it was really, really interesting and awesome how they did that and just kind of tied things together. That being said, they did leave a lot of plot holes and just things that were unexplained, and like I said, there were things that were just so stereotypical horror movie that it wasn't very original. I feel like this kind of movie has been done, but then the inner plot, the inner workings of it hadn't been done, which, you know, was more original, but generally as a whole, it's a haunted house movie. Overall, I'd give it like 3.5 stars out of 5, 4 stars maybe, if we're going on Netflix ratings, and I would recommend it if you have time to watch it and you like haunted movies and you like ghost stories and things like Mama or The Ring. I think this would really be entertaining for you, so definitely check it out, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. She and her brother work in the kitchen at this camp for theater people where they teach like singing and dance, and they do a play every year. Well, this year they're doing Haunting of the Opera, I think it was called.